sick. Holy. Hey, so what's up, guys? I know this isn't really a video I do very often, as you know, I just mainly spend most of my time on the mountain. But here we got today. I blew my transmission mounts. Well, I blew them a while ago, but now's the day to replace them. So it's right down somewhere there. Well, and you can see my axle's just destroyed, so everything down there is disgusting, so you can't really see, but anywho, that's the yaw of how to do it. You basically just take the top bolt off and the two bolts at the bottom, lift the trans up with the jack or something, and then just swap them out. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So yeah, let's get it done. First things first, gotta lift this puppy up, which surprisingly I can still fit a jack underneath this thing, considering the side skirts. But yeah, well, let's get it done. Okay, guys, so now I kind of get why this is actually a pretty difficult job to record, which is probably why there's no videos on the internet about it. But here we have our so how the transmission mounts sit is there's two of them. Here, I'll flip it around. So there we go. Okay. So there's two of them on each side. So we have one there. I don't know if you can see the top of that bolt right there. Put my finger on it right there where my finger is. That's the top bolt of one of them. And the other one is down on the other side. And they kind of they look like these things right here. These things with the Audi logo on it with the two bolts on the bottom. So there's one on this side and the other one on that side. That one, I'm pretty sure you can just get off with like a flex head ratchet and then just put a 17 millimeter on the top end of it and zip the bolt off that way. But this one has this massive heat shield for the axle in the way. See this thing right there, which makes it really hard to access it from the bottom over here, which is why we ripped this wheel off right here to get access to that bolt, which I already just broke right now. But you can access it with any wrench, any oh my bad, it's not 17, it's a 16, but any 16 mil wrench. I have this ratchet head, which makes it getting it all the way off a little bit easier. But I mean, you can honestly get away with just a normal one. Someone online told me that you need to actually take off the heat shield itself, which I think is cap, because you, as you can see right there, see it has plenty of room to just sneak your ratchet or whatever in there. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna keep chipping away at this and wish me luck. So another side note is that I was actually semi-wrong about the heat shield covering the bolt. You don't have to take the whole thing off, but you do need to remove this one. I don't know if you can see that where my middle finger's pointing right there. Small bolt holding on said heat shield, and then kind of bend it back so you can get better access to the bolt, because if not, you don't have enough room to really get your hand in there, or you might not even be able to get the bolt out. But it's really easy, just a quick 10 mil, zip that out, bend it back. You can even just, I used, what's it called, a flathead, but you can honestly, it's so thin that you can probably even use just your hand to bend it back, and now you have way more space to work. So yep. Alright, so now we're just taking off the bottom two bolts. Managing out the top bolt's still in, but it's really loose, so probably just take out the bottom bolts real quick and then zip out the top one, and then do the same thing on the other side, which should be a way more easier. I'll just show you guys what we're taking out right now. So this is the transmission mount. We have these two bolts in the bottom here and the one on top, but see, I've been already taking this one out a little bit, but we're gonna zip these two out and then do the same thing on the other side and hopefully get this over with. Okay, so I just got the bolt and washer out for this side, and then the bottom 2 bolts as well, so this side's all done. One side note is that because this is right next to the exhaust, and the exhaust goes down the chute that way, you really need to be careful with burning your hands. That's why I have all these gloves that are very heat resistant, and I'm working right now, so you can get these at any store, or you can just wait like an hour or two for your car to cool down so you don't burn yourself, but just keep that in mind. So, a small but somewhat funny side note is that because I'm a very, very good mechanic and I take care of all my vehicles, my my car's axle boots, if you can see right there, are ripped on, let's see if we'll focus, ripped on that side, and on the other side it's practically split in 2. But instead of being a very, very smart person and replacing both axles, I've been subsequently shoving metric shit tons of grease into each axle boot for every month for the past year. So they're still alive for a whole year despite being all ripped up like that. But the consequence of that is there's grease everywhere in the front side of this suspension, so I am getting absolutely filthy right now. Yeah. So here we have the other side, and as you can see, when I said before, actually you can't see it. Oh no, you can. Here it is. There's my axle. You can see I just keep shoving blue grease in it to keep it alive, and it's been that way for the past year or so, which is actually kind of amazing. But you can see the aftermath right there. All that blue splatter is grease, and unfortunately the top of this mount, or everything really around this mount, is now doused and just baptized in grease. So I tried my best to wipe a lot of it off, but you can see right there all of this crap, and then a few more paper towels down there is just straight grease. And another funny side note, I actually killed a rabbit on the road, not like maybe like a year ago or something, and I can actually see some of its fur right there and there just still around. So that's kind of nasty in my opinion, but I mean, the job must go on. Well guys, I really hope you appreciate all I do for you, because we got, let's see, there's 1 bolt, 2 bolt, there should be the 3rd one, here it is, 3rd bolt. The second side, the driver's side, there, this is the top one, these are the 2 bottom ones. But look at all that nastiness. That's all grease. You see this freaking twig is sticking to me right now, but yeah, I'm gonna get the new one set up, and then I wish I could do a side by side, but I don't really think that's possible, because as soon as I take, my jack is garbage. I hope you know, it's like 20 years old, and it like loses, if you pump something up, jack something up, and like every single maybe 5 seconds it goes down by like a centimeter. So I have to set it up, pump it up, and then really quickly switch everything out. But I'll show you the new ones when I get them all set up, and then I'll show you the old ones when I take them out. Okay, so these are the new ones. As you can see, these ones, I almost feel bad touching them with my disgusting hands, but I mean, they're gonna get nasty anyways when they get in the car. But I got the 034 Motorsport track density mount, so this is their density line. Most people go with the street density one. I obviously use this car for not just street purposes, so we're going with the track density. I have the track density mounts, and yeah, they make a lot of noise, but I think, to me, I kind of like it in a weird way. So yeah, I get the 034 logo on top. These are a little bit different than the OEM ones, because they have this really fat, this thing right here, this really fat spacer / metal bushing at the top. So I'm assuming how it goes is you have the bracket sitting on the bottom here, sandwiching right there. The transmission sits on top of this metal bushing, and then you put the bolt through the top of the bracket, down at the bottom, tying the nut, and then throw these 2 bolts in, and then you're basically done. But yeah, now comes the hard part of jacking up the trans. I'm honestly not sure how much of it I'm going to be able to record because I'm going to be so busy, but we'll see how it goes. So just to show you guys, this is what jack we're working with right now. We have this really pathetic tiny surface area head with this wood block and then a metal sheet behind it to try and keep it from punching through the wood due to its such tiny surface area. So the plan is to just balance it all on top of this thing, lift up the trans like that from either the pan or kind of the diff area, or we'll see, but hopefully this ends up okay. Another thing I forgot to mention is to make sure you undo the snub mount over here. So this is the engine, as you can see, and that's my poor transmission down there. Don't ask why, it's all scratched up. But this snub mount here, some bolt somewhere you can take it off. So it's 3 bolts right there, or not 3 bolts, 3 nuts right there, and then you just kind of wiggle this off, and then here's the actual snub mount here, right there. The reason you want all this off is because when you're jacking up the engine from back there, if this isn't off, it's just gonna kind of get caught on it and not really go anywhere, and maybe even ruin your snub mount and cause some other problems. So just do yourself a favor and unbolt that. So I actually got the transmission mounts out for you, and by the way, this is a different day, and I have a haircut now, but I had a lot going on, so I haven't been able to show you guys. But the track transmission mounts are in the car. They feel amazing. Whole drivetrain's really planted. Basically no movement whatsoever. It did not fix my vibration issue. It fixed the kind of knocking sound that we were hearing a little bit, kind of similar to when the engine mounts blew, but it did not fix the whole vibrating and I guess more loud knocking. That was actually my my drive shaft center carrier, which I did not replace like I should have. I did a really ghetto fix with some coolant hose that I cut up and kind of slot into all the spaces where the space where the old carrier gave out. Zip tied it there, and it fine, no more vibration anymore. And it was basically a free fix, so don't hate it if it works. But as for the mount, I could show you guys exactly the sound it makes when it's going out that you might be hearing in your car. So I'm gonna lay my camera down real quick. Hear this sound. I don't know if the camera picks that up, but it's kind of like, it's kind of weird. This mount has like a twine slash ribbon slash shoelace looking fucking thing that goes along these 2 ribs. And as you would think, these twines don't really last forever, so they stretch, they give out, and then that's actually what's securing this top part of the mount right here. And because they're so loose, the bushing itself, from what I can tell, is not that bad, but these twines itself are causing this knocking sound here. You can kind of hear better now. I'm kind of shaking the top part side to side, but yeah, interesting. So we have the other one here that isn't that bad, but I can grab it and you can kind of tell. See, right now it's not making any knocking noises, so that one was not bad at all. But yeah, that's the story of that.